But it's too cold out here for me to just sit out here. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done it with the remote. Hold on a minute here. Oh, I'll just leave it. Maybe it'll be all right. We'll just watch it for a while. Oh, that remote's gonna fall. Should be a better picture than I had before because I had the camera a little bit too close to the eyepiece last time. All right, I'm going back in. I'll be back in a little bit. It's like 0 out, I think. Yeah, that's like 32 below freezing for those flatzoid people. I don't know if you guys are following, but wow. Some people are losing their minds and their integrity. Thank you, Tammy. Good reminder. I will go get warm. I will be back. Hopefully it tracks all right. We'll find out in a minute. We're syncing off the screen here. Okay, I'm gonna rant for just a second. Just for fun. Okay. There isn't a person, I guess I'm gonna have to help it out here. There isn't a person alive, maybe a baby. There isn't a person alive that hasn't told a lie. And there's probably not a person alive that's never been caught in a lie. So this would be what I would say to anyone. If you've lied, even if it's just a little bit of a lie, or let's say you said something to someone or you accused somebody of something, and then you realized after the fact that maybe you were a bit fast and you kind of went on a hunch on a few things, and maybe you realized that what you said to that person and accused that person was not at all true. The best thing would be, like, what I'm saying is, if someone wants to be, like, valid to me anyway, they would stop what they're doing and say, you know what? I was wrong about that. I shouldn't have accused that person, or actually they shouldn't say it to that person. I shouldn't have accused that person of something that I didn't know that whether they did it or not. And I was going on assumption. It was a really strong assumption. And that's the best time, is as soon as you realize that it's a lie. Because when you start covering it up and thinking that you're fooling people, you're only fooling yourself. Yes, doctor, this is the live moon right now. Keep in mind the orientation is flipped because we're looking through a telescope and it's got mirrors. So it's actually, if you flipped it with a mirror, so you'd have the rounded, like the circumference that we can see would be on the right side, and the features with the Terminator would be on the left side. That's what it is in reality. So, and yeah, it's tracking okay, and my phone battery still looks like it's almost half full, but I'm charging. But in this cold, after a while, the phone just doesn't take a charge and the battery dies. That's just what happens. So where's the belly button? Good question. It is cold out though. I did a quick YouTube live, and then I went over to TikTok and did a live, and then I came back to YouTube because when I was on TikTok, I adjusted my telescope a little bit, or adjusted my camera, and I got kind of a clearer shot. It wasn't very good on my first live, so I said I'm gonna go on YouTube again. And I kind of want to move it a little bit, just a little bit. Well, not that way. See, I don't even know how to move it. That's how good I am at telescopes. Hey, Mandy, Joe. I like seeing the features or whatever. I think that's so cool. If you look up towards the top, there's an alien or a UFO. See it? It's a white UFO. Have you guys ever seen that before? I'm still moving it to the left, just barely. I want to kind of get a jump start. It's wandering a little bit. Okay, now I have to turn my spotting scope off so I don't kill the battery. All right, I just kind of killed my, there we go. Like an old burnt out sun. I can go deep on that idea. It's been building on it for, you've been building on it for a while, huh? You know, I gotta say, like, everyone watching this right now probably would say, if I asked you, does it look like it has a shape? You know, like, does it look like it's a certain shape? I think most people would say that it looks like it's spherical, right? But here's the trick. Here's the thing that I think is like, we make so many assumptions automatically, just like naturally or something. First of all, what you're watching on your screen right now that looks spherical is actually perfectly flat, because I don't think your screen is spherical. So things can look very much spherical and be flat, especially when they're a light. Like I do sometimes think of stuff like, you know, LED technology or whatever. Whatever's the most advanced technology, that might be what God would use for the moon. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever would be way more advanced than LEDs. I'm not saying that it's a TV screen. What I'm saying is the moon is a light. That's what the Bible says. And the moon is entire. It's like it gets charged up by the sun when it gets close to the sun, and as it goes on its circuit and loses each day, it loses its light till it gets back to the sun again, and it does it. It's very interesting. It like builds its light, loses its light. Goes by the sun, builds its light, loses its light. It takes like 28 days. Yep, Amanda Joe, you're right. And that's how simple it is. God made two great lights, and this is obvious which ones he's talking about. One to rule the day and one to rule the night. The sun is the greater light, and the moon is the lesser light. And that's just what the Bible says, and it's simple. It never says they are different. That is true. I think, I mean, obviously they look different, but as far as what they are, they're lights. So that's why I was talking about our screen can look spherical when it's flat, you know. Hey, let's zoom in just for fun and see if we are a little better than that last live. It gets grainy, but should we look at our UFO? Actually, I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to mess with it, because it's like if I start messing with it, the tracking will get messed up. It's like some people would say, yeah, see, those are mountains. You can see at the very top of the screen, see that looks like a mountain peak with its big shadow going to the right. Do you see that? It's on your phone screen. That's what it looks like on your flat phone screen. Does your phone screen have a spike sticking up that's making a shadow go to the right? No. And I know it sounds kind of ridiculous what I'm saying, but the moon can look like that without having something in a shadow and stuff, because like in the daytime, that spike would be blue, by the way. It wouldn't be black or dark like a shadow. It'd be blue. I just don't, I think it's more like honestly, I'm not saying that it's a big LCD screen or whatever, LED screen. I'm saying that the most advanced light technology that you could think of, it's probably 1 billion times more detailed than that, because God made it. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm starting to freeze again. I can feel my toes are starting to freeze to the insides of my shoes. And I'm kind of kidding, but I'm kind of not. Oh yeah, and for all you weird naysayers about the final experiment, right now, we're watching this with my telescope and my camera, and I can see my breath. Ooh, I can see my breath, but guess what? What we're standing in, or what I'm standing in right now, is, I don't know exactly, but when the sun was shining in the middle of the day today, it was 8 degrees. And that's, see, for Flatzoid, he's like -8. That's super cold. And you know what? -8 for Flatzoid is actually 18 degrees. And that's super warm if you're talking about cold weather. Right now, I'm at least 20, I'm probably 20 degrees colder than any of the weather that they saw in the final experiment. So, and it's so funny, you guys are children talking about footprints. Sometimes they make footprints and sometimes they don't. Yeah, you know what? In the middle of the day, or whenever the sun is closest or warmest, the snow after that groomer, it loosens up on the very top. Where else would it loosen up? But as soon as it gets a little bit colder out, it turns to solid ice. So that's what happens in cold weather. Sometimes you see your breath, sometimes you don't. Sometimes your feet go in the snow, sometimes they just stay on top and it's just ice. Sometimes in Minnesota, I remember one year I built a bunch of cabinets I built all the cabinets for an e-cigarette store. Like their big bar that they made a big bar and all this stuff. And it was super cool, but I had my diesel truck and I had a 28-foot enclosed trailer. And I had to deliver them that day. I'd been working on them for like probably 2 months. And I had to bring him that day because he was moving into the store and there was a schedule. And the day I had to drive down there, I kept like hoping that that it would get a little bit warmer. But even with salt and anything that the road can, like the county and like the plow trucks and stuff, anything they could do, it didn't matter. It was so cold that we had gotten like a storm and it slush kind of froze. There was like on the freeways, there was 2 inches of solid ice. It was like you could drive on it just fine because it was like, there wasn't ruts and stuff because nothing was melting it. And it lasted for like 3 weeks. It was on the road. So we had cold weather for a long time. It's like that ice runway, it never gets warm enough to melt it. It's just there. Those groomers that they have, they can flatten stuff out, and I'm sure they have to do that every year for that runway. They probably do it constantly. They're running those, I don't know, they probably have heated groomers that heat the ice as they go over them. And then, I mean, they have, I don't know if they're called snowcats or something. They have them here in Minnesota at the ski hills that you can go to and where they make snow and they push snow around with them. They push snow right up hills. Like they're like big track machines. Hey, Elizabeth. Thomas, I think you're right. He probably made it look physical for a reason. Maybe for a time like this. I think you're right. You know how when we look at the moon, how we are right now, none of the prophets ever got to like look at it through a telescope. You know, so I mean, I'm gonna look at it. I'm bending down to talk on my phone, but I'm gonna look up at it for a minute. I just wanna look and see what it looks like with my regular eyes. I can actually see, like if on our image right now, if you look like 2/3 of the way up, there's kind of like a dark shadow spot or whatever, dark spot that goes in. I can see that with my naked eye. And that, I mean, I can't see it very good, but I can also see like these other features. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, I mean, we get to see it pretty cool. Oh, Dr. Bass says, imagine landing a plane on that ice for the first time. Dude, I don't know. They had to have like come in like on, I don't know. It had to be like some kind of skis. I wouldn't like, I mean, unless they like went in on like snowmobiles or something and surveyed that far to find. I don't know the history of that Union Glacier, but it's set in a spot that's, the reason why they have it right where they have it is because of all those mountains that are around it. And if you look at the wind, like the wind patterns through that area, it's like in the center down where they are, it's like almost no wind compared to like, you know, going up the mountains and closer to the mountains. But yeah, that's like a still area. So I'm sure that's why they choose to go there every year. Chris is saying about 2 moons. Swipe to your live, and I saw the little moon on the top. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, I gotta go in for real, but I'll leave it going for a while. It looks like it's in a pretty decent spot and it's tracking okay. Brr. All right, guys, I'm going to end it because see that link there? Whoa. Click that link and check out an awesome interview happening. I'm more interested in that right now. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to end it. So click the link, go over to Kingdom in Context. They're doing a live show right now. You won't regret it.